Welcome to Synthaholic Games. This is your host, David Duncan, and with me is...
Brian, David, we talk about video games sometimes.
And video game-related subjects.
And video game-related subjects, that's true, that's true. This is an industry that we both like, and we're still continuing to press forward with that idea, that ideal we have. I will say
it's becoming harder and harder.
The past 2 weeks, they have not been like super crazy for news, except your background is probably the biggest news it's definitely the biggest news that happened. It's just not a ton of like gaming stuff happened.
It's both the biggest and smallest news. kind of at the same time.
That's a good title right there. The biggest and smallest news.
The biggest and smallest news of the week. So, you sent us a couple things that you wanted to go over. Is Nintendo increasing the size of Switch 2 game boxes? Ooh, yeah. Speaking of biggest and smallest, they should make the biggest news of the week and the smallest news of the week. And you sent me the articles, Nintendo increasing the size of Switch 2 game boxes.
I did? This is new information to me, David.
What?
Maybe I linked you the wrong one.
This is how prepared we are. Yeah, you sent me an article, Nintendo increasing the size of Switch 2 game boxes. This is one of your articles you sent me.
I sent you the wrong article. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I think
are they making it bigger? I mean, they should make them smaller. They should make them just slightly bigger than the actual game itself. Wow, Brian, thanks. So did you not send me the God of War? Sony is reportedly developing a new God of War set in Egyptian mythology. Did you...
I sent you anymore. When you said that, I was like, why did I link you a box article? Oh man, that's funny.
Speaking of the smallest news, that's pretty small. That's pretty insignificant. And why would anyone care? I don't know why.
What a wild thing. Who wrote this article? What a wild thing to report.
And then you sent it to me.
Oh man, I didn't even see this article. I must have copied and pasted the wrong one or something.
How did you not see it? You sent it to me to put in the...
That's great. Yeah, I'm looking at what I sent you. It is. Wow, David. Watch Dimension. Stupid article. Oh man.
Well, I
can tell you what the article was, even though we don't have the article anymore. I can tell you what it was.
Well, what were you wanting? What were you wanting to say?
It was BioWare and Mass Effect. That BioWare had to either lay off or move a bunch of employees and diverse them out for EA, and they're still pushing forward with the new Mass Effect.
They're pushing forward with the new Mass Effect game. They have stopped working on Dragon Age completely. No DLC. Updates.
That's what the article was. And now they have they used to have over 200 employees working at BioWare. They now have less than it's reported that they have less than 100 after the layoffs and moving other developers to other parts of EA. That was the article that I wanted to send. So BioWare is not looking very good. I would think if Mass Effect doesn't do well, I think this is going to be the end of BioWare. Probably, most likely.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised BioWare is still around after Anthem.
You know what? I'm surprised who's still around. Arcane. Oh my gosh. The Justice League. Kill the Justice League.
Oh no, that game officially ended support already.
Yeah, but I'm surprised it didn't just like kill the studio. I don't know. It's like a $300 million loss. It was like,
oh yeah,
how much money do these studios have where you can just take a $300 million loss and nobody got laid off or anything? At least as far as I know. Maybe I'm sure a couple people were let go, but nothing that was really reported on.
Maybe Ubisoft.
They had that much money.
Maybe Ubisoft hired them and then laid those people off.
Yeah. Well, Ubisoft. We don't have this linked either, but Ubisoft also laid off.
We talked about it last time.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what's going on.
That's why I brought up Ubisoft.
This Switch 2 article, man, is hilarious to me. That's
what you sent.
It's a mention. I see what I sent you. The original that would make the size of the Switch 2 game box approximately 43% larger. It's such a stupid article.
Well, that's.
I'm glad. I'm glad I linked this to you. Never mind. This gave me a great laugh. I just switched.
Brian links articles and forgets about them so he can laugh about them.
It's a big article too. It's not like just like 3 words. Oh man, this had to use some like AI or something. That's great. This is great. That's a great article. I hope everybody is invested into the Switch 2 box as apparently I am. Oh man,
seems so.
Anyway,
seems
David.
so.
What's our next news that we actually wanted to talk about?
Well, I mean, I thought it was interesting the BioWare thing. Honestly, I hope that this team stays small, because I feel like a part of the problem with modern game development is team sizes are too big and nobody knows what's going on. So A, they take longer, and B, they're just like redundant work or nothing.
I can agree to that. I think the bigger the studio is, the harder time they'll have making a good game. But it's not so much the amount of people I wanted to bring up. It's more that like, hey, this studio is down over 50% people that were working. They lost like over half their studio. So it's like, obviously they're not making enough money to, keep afloat. So I would imagine everything's on Mass Effect, and Andromeda was not very good.
No, it was not, and neither was Dragon Age: The Veilguard. It like sold less.
Well,
that
might have been worse. That might have been worse.
It was probably worse. It sold less than half of expectations. I mean, I just don't understand like how they keep doing this, where they take a game that people are excited about, then they just make it bad, like on purpose, seemingly. And then
I don't understand.
And then they act surprised that people don't like it, and it's just like
the Veilguard is such an odd. It's such an odd thing, because I obviously neither you or I ever played it, and even the people that I watched that review games couldn't even finish the game. So it obviously wasn't good, but it's just like, it's not just like bad in like writing. It's not just bad in like gameplay. It's just like the whole thing is just like not good. Like, how can they just, everything's not good about it? I mean, the graphics are fine, but the graphics are always fine. They could even be bad, or I don't even know what would be considered bad, because I'm not too invested in graphics. But it's like even the UI, just everything, the way you talk to people, the dialogue, none of it's good. I don't understand how that happens. It's just like, how do you like swing that many times and you just will strike out for like every part of the game? I don't get it. They couldn't even accidentally get something right.
No, it's pretty bad.
The combat's bad. They can't even. I watched quite a few reviews for this game, and even multiple times it came up. Even the camera angles are bad. Like it's like, even when they're showing like the in-game cinematics for like the story or whatever, even those were bad. So it's, I don't know, man. I don't get it. Either way, I guess don't play that game. It's not very good. Also, BioWare's not good anymore. I don't know.
I mean, they haven't been good since Mass Effect 2.
That was a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was a while. That's when gaming wasn't mainstream and it was more passion project, is when Mass Effect 2 came out.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore though. Anyway.
All right.
Can we talk about like PlayStation 5 boxes now? I think, where the dimensions of that one?
See, God of War's package is going to be 6% bigger in God of War Egypt than it was in God.
Got it. Yeah. So I'm a big God of War fan, David. I think even, and if you listen to this podcast, you have known that by now. Also, David, I know you're aware of that. It's a rumor. We don't know. It was rumored when God of War ended, when Ragnarok ended, that they were going to be going to Egypt. And now there's just kind of starting to be a little bit more and more information about what they're doing next with Kratos, and who knows what's going to happen. But it's starting to look like they're going to go to Egypt. So I get to maybe Kratos can fight Anubis.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Anubis. That'd be cool. The thing interesting about that is like that would. I feel like there was like a lore that like he went to Egypt before he went to Greece. It could be inferred that is something that happened. So this could be a prequel to the Norse mythology.
It could be. Who knows? Who knows what they're gonna do? We just still have nothing. Ragnarok's been out for a couple of years now, and we still have no nugget of information. So I'd imagine when we get this next God of War, like news, I would imagine the game's going to be like pretty well into development. Probably when they announce it, it'll probably be released within a year. That's probably my guess, because the game's probably been in development for like 4 or 5 years at this point.
Hopefully. I mean, I'm down for an Egyptian mythology God of War. That would be freaking cool. The Egyptian gods are freaking cool looking.
They are, especially Anubis.
Anubis, Brian's personal Egyptian god. How many statues of Anubis? Do you have one in each room of your house just to make sure you can see Anubis at all time?
Yeah, that's one of the jokes that you and I made when I first like met you. There's like Anubis was like one of the first things that like I brought up is like the god I represent.
Yep.
Oh man!
So instead of a Buddha,
Anubis.
So instead of a Buddha in every room, you've got an Anubis in every room.
Yeah, I have an Anubis instead of a Buddha. Yeah. So God of War, keep doing God of War things, and thank God that live service game got canceled.
Yeah,
Blue Point was working on. Yeah. Amen to that.
Yeah, amen. Thank you. So God of War in the news.
Thank you, God. Thank you, Anubis. Thank you. Thank you, Anubis.
I'm super down for Egyptian God of War. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun. You also sent a YouTube video for No Man's Sky Worlds Part 2.
Just real quick. I just want to bring this up real quick. So when you and I played No Man's Sky, you and I didn't really like the game that much. It is what it is. It's not for us. That's fine. But I want to say that like this game has been out since what, 2017, 2018, something like that. This recent update is No Man's Sky's 36th free major update, and everybody who plays the game like consistently loves the game. So just good job on them for not charging people, for just like listening to the community, fixing what was wrong, or if the game was rushed or whatever. They people love the game now. So just, you know, good job, studio. I want to give props to good studio. When good studio make good studio thing. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about it.
I kind of wish I played it at launch just so I could appreciate how much it changed. Because when we played it 2 or 3 summers ago, I was like, I can't imagine this game being much worse.
Well, we would send each other memes when that game first came out with some of the animals or monsters or whatever, aliens. People would put that music,
the broken Jurassic Park music.
The broken Jurassic Park music. It was a terrible game at launch. I mean, I played it at launch, so I didn't like it then, I still really don't like it. But I'm glad people do like it. So it's cool when, you know, something good happens.
Yeah, I mean, nice after you know, when we played it about 2 or 3 years ago, every time I played it, I just wished I was playing Satisfactory, because it has a very similar collect resources, build stuff kind of thing to it.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that game doesn't have like a factory in it. You're not building factories.
Well, no, but I mean, like, just you're still gathering resources, and I don't know, it felt like it was trying to be but it just was way less advanced. And I was like, oh, this is slow and boring.
Slow and boring. And I wonder what like the collector's edition was. Like, was the box big, or like was it how big?
It was like 16 times the size, 16 times the detail of the not.
Was like the box like big? Like, how's the printing quality on the box?
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh man, yeah. So good job, No Man's Sky and Hello Games.
Our next bit of news is not a good job. NVIDIA's RTX 5090 is out of stock because it was barely in stock. I've been just following this news, and it's been pretty incredible. Gamers Nexus was doing a video where they kind of talked about they were trying to estimate how many had come out, and they'd gotten some like rough numbers from like retailers, and not many seems like they got sold. And it seems like maybe half of the 5090s out in the wild, or, you know, maybe not half, maybe still a significant percentage of them are probably ones sent to like content creators and reviewers. So it's
past the COVID like pipeline of not being able to get like components or parts or whatever to build this stuff, or is now is it just like creating like artificial like demand for stuff?
Well, I'm pretty sure NVIDIA is doing artificial scarcity. I'm hoping NVIDIA will pull their head out of their asses now that DeepSeek has like kicked them in the balls a little bit, losing some of their net worth. Maybe like not treat gamers bad, and, you know, actually make product available for gamers, because it just feels like they're just putting all their stock and all their product into their you know, enterprise edition, hardware.
Yeah.
And
Well, the company has gotten big enough where the entire gaming, like the AI side of Nvidia has become so large that the gaming side of the company is a rounding error with how much money they make. It's like it's very small compared to like AI now. The gaming part is like so it's like almost nothing.
sure, it's small, but the thing is, like, they're gonna, like, when other AIs come out and challenge them, they're gonna get kicked in the pants more and more and
That'll
more.
just make them want to work on. Maybe that would want to push them towards more gaming related.
I mean, because that's the thing. I mean, the DeepSeek model, it seems like they were like being, they were using, like, more consumer grade GPUs to train it versus the enterprise GPUs.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, when they're doing more with less, maybe they should, throw a bone to gamers and consumers and creatives, because I mean, half the reason I wanted to build a new computer before the insane possible 100% tariffs go into effect is I do like the game, but I also am learning Blender, and I want my Blender rendering and animation to run a little smoother in viewport. And I would have loved a 50 series, but with the inevitable shortage, because NVIDIA doesn't make enough, with scalpers selling things for $6,000, the 5090 for $6,000 now, that it's just, and then the inevitable tariffs.
You bought a couple of those,
no,
I bet.
I know, absolutely not. And then the inevitable tariffs from the U.S. administration that'll make those prices go up even more. Like, it's just unfathomable how much these things cost, and they're not even worth it. I mean, I was looking at reviews for Blender. The 5080 only renders about 9 seconds faster than the 4070 Ti Super.
Yeah.
Like, that is a very small margin. I mean, it adds up over time in render time, but still, like, it's a brand new generation of card. You'd think you'd see in an 80 series versus a 70 series. You'd think you'd see a little bit more, overhead.
Yeah, they're not going back to 1080 Ti land. That's not happening anymore. They could, but they won't do it anymore. I don't know the exact exact numbers, but Nvidia's business, AI versus gaming, it's like we're talking AI is $1 trillion thing and gaming is like $1 billion thing. It's low. It's like my soul's telling me that like their gaming division is 17 billion and their AI like side is almost $1 trillion. So it's like why bother with gaming if it's that big of a difference, So it just sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It's
we just need AMD catch up, please, and then Nvidia will come out the next year with just something that'll crush you. Or Intel, you're like winning the like entry level market for GPUs. Why don't you catch up to Nvidia, and then Nvidia can come out the following year with something that'll crush you? Because we know they definitely could, but they don't need to. They have no reason to. They own the market, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's really, really bizarre stuff. So I wish they would play nicer with consumers and actually provide stock instead of making artificial scarcity. I don't know, but I mean, it definitely seems like they're hoarding all their chips for their servers and not giving enough to the gaming division to make these cards. So
yeah. What's the size of the box though? What's the size of the 5090 box? Did the dimensions change on the box?
I don't know, but the Founders Edition is only a 2-slot card, which is like a near miracle.
Yeah, they're getting so. The power draw of the cards too are kind of crazy.
Oh, they're insane, which is another reason I kind of stuck with the 40 series for new build I'm working on. But
it's crazy, like that card pulls more than like 4 PS5s, like running at full power.
Why not?
Oh man,
why not? And then I sent Brian a meme early this morning about Xbox being a cuck.
Yeah,
they're devs making games for PlayStation 5, and this is something we talked about ages ago. Whenever they first started, when they first bought Bethesda, we were like, "Oh, Starfield's going to be exclusive," but it seems like a lot of their stuff is not going to be exclusive. and more games started coming out, and now we have news that for Forza Horizon 5, the next Xbox exclusive heading to PlayStation 5.
Xbox doesn't believe in exclusives. Phil Spencer finally said the thing that we've been saying for he's been dancing around like saying what's going to be exclusive and what's not. And now he finally came out and said that nothing's going to be exclusive anymore. And you and I we've been saying that for, I feel like 2 years. Feels like we've been saying that for a long time. So I don't know. The Xbox hardware is going to be dead probably in the next, I don't know, couple of years. Probably it's definitely not going to be able to continue. Nobody's going to buy an Xbox if you can just
buy it on PlayStation
on a better there's no reason to get an Xbox anymore. That's why exclusive worked.
The only reason buying an Xbox is just like buy like the base version and just do Game Pass. Like just buy the cheapest version you can, because if it's going to be cheaper than PlayStation 6 or whatever, they might be able to sell like a base boring Xbox, whatever the next one is, that's just barely better than an Xbox Series S, and then be like, oh look, you can do all your, stream your games to it or whatever. Make a streaming box, because that's what it seems like Microsoft cares about. And it's just I've never understood why
they don't make games.
They don't make games, but also like I never understood the exclusivity thing in begin with, because when you can put your game on more than one platform, you can sell it to more people. And if you sell something to more
people, don't buy your hardware. Then
if you sell something to more people, then you make more money. But that's the thing. People, you have to make your hardware competitive.
Yeah, and
that's the problem. Like you have to make
you got to get them in the ecosystem.
You have to make your hardware competitive, or you have to make your store competitive in the PC's case, because Steam has a bajillion more features than Epic does. Epic is just barely a store. Barely works.
Well, we're talking like Steam is the best though. Steam's the best of the best. No matter what platform, what you're on, Steam is just the best.
But I'm just saying you have to be competitive. Like they keep trying to buy exclusives and people don't fall for it. Alan Wake 2 still hasn't made any money, and it's because it's on the Epic store, and they keep holding on to it. Say, oh, people will come to us if they want the game. Like no, they won't.
I saw a thing. Somebody emailed Tim Sweeney and asked if Alan Wake 2 is going to be coming to Steam, and they said in their email to him like, hey, Steam's my preferred game store, but like if it's not going to come soon, I'm going to buy it on Epic anyways. It was like, why would you say that in the first place? Like don't buy it. Yeah, just wait. You got to force that. They're not just going to take a loss. But Tim Sweeney ended up saying no, it's not coming to this. It's not coming to Steam. But I don't know. It's like don't email the guy telling him that it's inconvenient that it's not on Steam, but it's going to be on Epic.
But the thing is, it's not making money. It's just absolutely insane that they're hoarding it on Epic when it's clearly not making money. They're sell it on the platform where it'll make money. Like
it's exclusive. That's why we need to go to Epic Games Launcher.
No. Never.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to compete against Steam because Steam's not greedy. Well, they're greedy, but it's not like a publicly traded company where they need to hit their dollar signs or whatever. So they can they're nicer people probably.
It just sucks because Remedy is also remaking Max Payne 1 and 2 and Control 2, so they can tie all their games into the same universe. And then we're stuck with Alan Wake 2 exclusive to the stupid Epic store.
Yeah, I want to play Alan Wake 2, but I can't because it's not on Steam.
Yeah, pretty much. I refuse to give them.
Alan Wake 1 is on Steam, and that's where I played the game before Alan Wake 2 came out. And now that Alan Wake 2 was coming out, I wanted to play it because it was getting such good reviews and all that. But it's on Epic, and I'm not going to buy it on Epic.
Yeah, maybe
I'll never play the game.
You could get it for PlayStation.
I could do that, but I don't want to play it. Every game is like roll the dice if where I'm going to end up buying it. Is it going to be on consoles? Is it going to be on Steam? Where's it going to be? And I rolled the dice for Alan Wake 2, and I'm only going to play it on Steam.
Your dice said Steam. Alrighty.
Dice said Steam.
Well, yeah,
that's our news. Don't buy an Xbox.
Yeah, don't buy an Xbox.
That's probably not a good investment at this point. Maybe you might be able to get one for really cheap next year. Around Christmas time, maybe this year you might be able to get one for a really good deal because there'll be no exclusives on it. So yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Doom: The Dark Ages looks good, but I mean, it's not exclusive. It's coming to PlayStation 5, so
It'll be on. It'll be on. I mean, it's owned by the studio though, or it's owned by the company that says nothing's exclusive anymore. So
yeah. Oh well, that's the way it should be. Nothing should be exclusive.
let the best win.
Yeah,
Steam out.
Steam out. Until next time, guys.
Email David at synthaholics@yahoo.com for all your gaming. If you have any tech support, email David and ask what you ask to like. How do you fix your keyboard from not connecting?
Oh yeah, try plugging it in. Next. Anyway, I've been David.
I've been Brian this time.
And we'll see you next time on Synthaholic Games.
Bye.